Good afternoon. I am Jean-Luc Boulnois, the Executive Chairman of FineHeart, and I'd like to talk to you about ICOMS, the Implantable Cardiac Output Management System. It is dedicated for the treatment of severe heart failure patients. As you know, heart failure is a degenerative disease, and when medication do not work, you end up in a category called the Class 3 NYHA or the Class 4 NYHA as your severity of the disease increases. In the Class 3, there is a technology that works very well called CRT, and that is dedicated to patients that have an electric dysfunction of the heart, like an asynchrony, and this is addressing the needs of about 100,000 patients, and it corresponds to a $5 billion market. At the other extreme, the NYHA4, patients who are very sick can only hope to have a cardiac transplant, a heart transplant, and, or a left ventricular assist as a bridge to that transplant. In the middle, there is 200,000 patients that are not treated, for whom there is no treatment available, and who are not yet candidate for the heart transplant. There are only 6,000 hearts, 7,000 LVADs, and therefore the need for those 200,000 patients is extreme. We estimate the market to be about $20 billion. The team is very experienced. Founder of the company is Arnaud Mascarell, the CEO. He has 18 years at Medtronic working on CRT. He knows the technology in and out. This is the DNA of the company. The second member of the team is Dr. Stéphane Garrigue. He is an interventional cardiologist, worldwide known, a co-developer of CRT. He is our CSO. I myself have 35 years in this industry. I've done startups, I've done exits, I've done M&A. I have been around quite a bit. We have an incredible scientific advisory board. Dr. Acker, Dr. Mera, and Dr. Pagani, they are the leaders in circulatory support of the heart. The three of them combine something on the order of about 1,000 publications. They have done every single clinical trial of circulatory support in the United States. Our device was actually conceived by Dr. Philippe Ritter, the former inventor of CRT, together with Stéphane Garrigue. And our device is an implanted pump inside the left ventricle. You're going to say, this is crazy. But actually, it is actually a very physiological solution to the needs of the left ventricle. The device is positioned in a unique way with a patented attachment at the apex, and it's geared towards the aortic valve. It only operates when the cardiac cycle is in systole, namely after the total isovolumetric compression. When the pressure is at its maximum in the heart, the valve opens, we power the pump. When the valve shuts down, we stop the pump. Therefore, the pump only operates 40% of the time. This is the first management system that can deliver a flow that feeds all the patient needs and all the cardiac demand. The device is inserted by a very simple procedure that has been used quite a bit for the position of TAVI through the apex. It's a transapical approach, and it is done on a beat to beat. It's not a sternotomy. It's done on a beat to beat, and it is done through a mini thoracotomy. And it typically is a surgery that lasts about an hour and a half, versus something on the order of 3 or 4 hours in the case of a sternotomy. So this first device of its kind is an accelerator that is synchronized with the cardiac needs and the cardiac rhythm. The way it is synchronized is that we have the CRT technology, we have the DNA of the CRT, so we just have a lead that detects the ECG, and based on the ECG signal, we detect when we power the pump, which means opening of the aortic valve. Because the device only operates 40% of the time, it does not require a lot of power. Actually, it requires 5 times less than any other device currently on the market. So with a 2.5 watt need, we can have now a transcutaneous energy transfer technology, which we have developed specifically for that device with an internal coil, which is under the skin, and an external coil into a belt worn by the patient, which through transduction is going to power a battery which is implanted in the patient the size of half the battery of your cell phone. As a result, there is no drive line, there is no bypass of the heart, there is no need for high power, and therefore the patient can enjoy a quality of life which is unique because they can have roughly 3 hours of completely untethered normal activity, whether it's for swimming or taking a shower. They don't need any such drive line. One of the important consequences of that design is that because it's a flow pump, not a pressure pump, because it's a flow pump, that device does not have a lot of stress on the red blood cells. No stress means no hemolysis, means no hemorrhage. Lastly, because the pump is working as a pulsatile, not a continuous pump, there is no GI bleeding. Here you can see on this chart here an animal. We've done 25 animal acute studies with those sheep, and the left side, the animal has a 1.5 liter per minute cardiac output, which is unsustainable. We provide a pulsatile solution to it in the middle of the chart, and you can see that we can generate up to 6.7 liters per minute. Should there be a need in case of tachycardia, for example, for a continuous operation, we also can operate the device continuously. On the left side here is a picture of a poor animal. It's a calf. We have done 2 chronic animal studies for 7 days on a pilot mode. We implanted this in healthy animals, and as a result of the 7 days, those animals were sacrificed, and we detected no hemorrhage, no arrhythmia, no embolism, no misalignment of the pump relative to the outflow for a surgery that only took about an hour and a half to perform. Here is the situation of our roadmap. We are in the GLP chronic pump trials in the middle of 2020. We will continue with the GLP TET, the energy transfer technology, and after that a GLP complete system for a first-in-man, which we target for the middle of 2022. For that first-in-man, we are raising $20 million to complete all the necessary chronic animal studies and also build a structure in the United States because the first-in-man will be performed in the US. Here is a chart of a number of exits that have taken place in the last couple of years. As you can see, if you take, for example, Cameron Health, of course, those exits depend on the stage of the company. But if you take Cameron Health, you can see that they exited as the PMA was submitted for a $1.5 billion. So this is a very attractive opportunity. We have the finest existing investors, in particular Broadview Ventures, Irdinov. We have recently received funds from Longview Ventures, which is a second fund of the Broadview company. We have an industrial investor who is not a strategic, a company called Doliam, who is developing for us some of the electronics of the device. So this 20 million Series B is dedicated to addressing an unmet need in a population of about 200,000 patients. It is the first wireless solution that is smaller, lighter, pulsatile, physiologic. The surgery is done beat to beat in a minimally invasive way. This is a wirely powered device. We have an experienced team with a DNA from the CRT technology. We are supported by a very well-known international KOLs, and we have about 63 patents in our portfolio. The returns on this investment would be significant, and at this time, out of the 20 million Series B, a third of that round is already secured by our existing investor. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the breakout room. Thank you.